Hi everyone and welcome back as I take a look at one of my favourite UFO episodes, The Sound of Silence. Well, the aliens are being very sneaky in this one as the UFO is following a space probe all the way back to Earth and Shadow cannot shoot it down in space in fear of damaging the space probe. But Shadow does have an idea where the UFO is going to land. So Straker assigns Foster to lead the search for the UFO. Now, he's searching in an area where some of the land is owned by a famous horse jumper. He's having problems with, as they say in the episode, a hippie called Cully. And there is a bit of a run-in between Russ and Anne Stone, their brother and sister, with Cully. Russ drives him off the land. But he comes back later in the evening, obviously some sort of skullduggery he's planning. So while all this is going on, Shadow mobiles are now on the scene and they're fanning out and searching for any trace of the aliens, UFO, call it what you like. So in the evening, Cully is back. He's trespassing on Russ's property and he goes into the horse shed. Now, whatever he is planning, we don't really know, because the alien from the UFO has been following him and we assume kills him. So he disappears off the scene, effectively. So now it's daytime. Russ and Anne are out for a horse ride. They come across a lake. Anne points out something very peculiar. There's no sound. There's no sound at all from anything. No wildlife sound. Nothing. It's completely silent. It spooks her, but it doesn't spook Russ. Anyway, they ride off. She goes back to the house. He goes to the area for training his horse. While this is all going on, Foster has reported in he has covered 70% of the area and is ordered by Straker to widen the search area. Out in the training area, Russ is riding his horse and then is thrown from his horse. We assume it is the alien because he's there on the scene. So I'm assuming it's like the alien had mind control powers over the horse, causing the horse to bolt and sending him to the ground. And he, that is Russ, disappears. His horse runs back home. His sister and his father, they call Pa, investigate and they find no trace of Russ at all, apart from his riding hat. So they put in a police report that he's gone missing. This report is intercepted by Shadow. Straker contacts Foster and tells him to proceed to the house and make inquiries, which he does. His inquiries do pave way for a possible solution to where the UFO is, because Foster is taken out to the area where the lake is and there's no sound. So Foster is gambling that the UFO is in the lake. So later in the evening, Foster assembles the mobiles at the lake. His first action is to depth charge the lake. After the second depth charge, he notices a light. Yes, it's the UFO. And it looks like it's about to take off. So Foster orders an all-out attack, and the mobiles open fire on the UFO, and there's a big firefight between the mobiles and the UFO. Eventually, the UFO is destroyed in the shootout and is obliterated. But something appears on the surface of the lake. A capsule or bomb or whatever it is the only thing that has survived the shootout. So the device is then picked up by Foster and brought back to Shadow headquarters. There seems to be a constant set rhythm coming off the capsule, stroke bomb, whatever. Straker hasn't ruled out a bomb. So they decide there's one course of action left open, and that is to perform an exploratory hole and get inside and see what's inside. It turns out that it is not a bomb. The X-ray has shown a human heart. Yes, inside the capsule is Russell Stone, all packed up and ready to be shipped off back to the alien homeworld. They think, the doctors that is, they think they could get Russell Stone out of the capsule, and they think it would be a prudent idea if somebody he knew was around, that being his sister. So Foster obviously goes out to pick up Anne and bring his sister back to Shadow. Russ Stone is out of the capsule, on the table, looking very confused. But nevertheless, he is alive and well. They also carry out a procedure on Anne, and I'm going to presume Russ as well, to sort of wipe their memories of Shadow. So all has gone well. The UFO has been destroyed. Russ has been saved, and they go back to their normal lives, Russ and Anne. As a brief follow-up, Foster sort of visits the farm asking for horse riding lessons, just sort of checking up on them, that all is well with them. Yeah, this is a really good episode, because this is the episode which shows the mobiles are quite capable of doing more, because we only usually see them chugging around the countryside, don't we? And one of them is obviously got a radar spinning on top. That's the command one. But in this episode, we get action. Yes, the mobiles do have weaponry. They got machine guns. They can fire mortars, depth charges. So yeah, it's a great episode. Just for that bit of action with the mobiles, it's fantastic. It's a good all-round episode, I think. I like the touch with the aliens sneakily head towards the Earth using the space probe to latch onto. Very clever thinking there by them to get through. There's a number of other things I could go on about, but I'm not going to. And I think on that splendid high note, have a great day. Catch you in due course. Goodbye.